My wife and I traveled to the state of Maine for a wedding. We flew into Boston and rented a car to drive up the coast toward one of those postcard-perfect seaside towns, with a lighthouse in the background. The bride's father had arranged for a series of cabins to be rented along a hill on the outskirts of town. Each cabin varied in size and was spaced about 30 to 60 meters apart, partially hidden among thick, eerie trees. What struck me most about the property was how isolated it felt. It was a challenge just to leave the long dirt road and descend 3 or 4 rocky flights of stairs to reach the front door of our cabin. There were no neighbors in sight, and the rugged path made it unlikely anyone would just wander into our small camp by accident. After chatting with some friends, everyone slowly returned to their own cabins and beds for the night. But I decided to get a little work done on my laptop before turning in. I also took the chance to sit on the rocking chair out on the porch. By that point, the porch was pitch dark. The only light came from the moon reflecting on the water and the soft glow of my laptop screen. About 25 minutes passed and everything was quiet, totally normal, until I heard something moving in the trees just below the narrow path that led to the next cabin. At first, I didn't think much of it. It was the woods at night, probably small animals, or maybe the guy from the neighboring cabin. Who cares? But then I checked the time and noticed it was around 2 a.m. That's when I heard it again, only this time it was much louder and much closer. It sounded like something massive was coming down the hill, crashing through the trees, breaking thick branches that tumbled down the slope in a cascade of rocks. Instantly, I was overtaken by a deep, primal fear, the kind of fear you only feel a few times in life. Your body freezes, your adrenaline spikes, your senses go into overdrive, and your fingertips start to go numb. Something told me I had to get out of there. I immediately closed my laptop, stepped inside, and locked the cabin door. It took a long time to fall asleep that night. The next day, we took a ferry to a beautiful island off the coast to go hiking with the group and take some photos together. While sitting around a small island brewery, chatting about our weekend plans, I casually mentioned my experience from the night before. That's when the bride's cousin, who had been staying just about 30 meters from our cabin, turned pale and widened his eyes. He asked me if it had happened around 2 a.m. I said yes and confirmed the time. He admitted he was too embarrassed to share his story earlier since we had just met. But at the time, he was in a state of shock and thought he might have imagined it all. He was lying alone in his cabin, reading on his Kindle in the dark, when he heard the same noises, only they were closer. Much closer. Whatever it was had approached his cabin and stepped onto the porch, making enough noise for the wooden boards to creak under its weight as it moved side to side. It was dark, he couldn't get a clear view through the window, but he confirmed with me, it was huge. Maybe over 7 feet tall. He was so paralyzed with fear that he turned off the Kindle and hid under his blankets in the dark, waiting for the thing to leave. No cell signal. No desire to risk going out to another cabin in the pitch-black night. Eventually he drifted off to sleep. After telling us what happened, he refused to sleep alone and spent the next night on the couch in a cabin shared with other family members. His cabin stayed empty. The funny part? I'd been cracking jokes on the drive up, and we even stopped near a small museum that had a replica of a creature. One that looked eerily similar to what he saw that night. That thing? It was clearly a werewolf. I never thought I'd come that close to something like that. If you're still here, you survived another tale from the shadows. But beware, some stories don't like to be told. And some might follow you home. Don't forget to subscribe to Midnight Relics, where every night holds a secret, and every secret has a price. Until next time, keep your lights on,